Hi all, welcome to our channel Toxicology on Board. Through this video, we'll go through question number 2, which will help the upcoming toxicologist for preparing for their Toxicology on Board exam or other regulated toxicology certifications. Let's see what is our question number 2. The question number 2 is the preferred treatment of for mercury chloride poisoning is. If you look at on the screen, these are the packages which were available for mercury chloride during the earlier days. Here you can see corrosive sublime it is written. Okay, used as a poison antidote. This mercury chloride had many applications. In the case, historically, it has many applications. It was used as a preservative. It was used as a chemical reagent. It was used in the case of whenever there were certain suicidal or homicidal cases in which mercury chloride was one of the reagent, one of the chemical. It is used for pharmaceutical industry as a medicine. It is used as a catalyst in the case of chemical reactions. Mercury chloride also used in the case of photography. So these are the various sources of contamination through which an individual can be exposed. So one more question which you might come across in the case of or mercury poisoning is that acrodynia or pink disease, where your hands or your legs will become pink in color. So there are various examples are there when you go through toxicology series of lectures, where you will come across that various kinds of either whiteness or redness or yellow mottling of teeth. These are the some of the key indications which will specify that were characteristic of that one person. So whenever pink disease or acrodynia is related with mercury chloride poisoning. So some of the questions you might definitely come across on this topic also in your exam. So if this is a typical structure of mercury chloride, mercury atom is in the center and it is bounded by two chloride ion atoms. So our question was, what is the preferred treatment for mercury chloride poisoning? Let's see the options. Option A is dimercaprol, which is commonly known as BAL. So don't you did not worry. We'll definitely discuss in the subsequent slides what is mercury chloride poisoning, as well as all the options we will discuss. We will discuss even the correct option. We'll discuss why the other four options are also not the right options with with respect to this particular question. And if there are other four options also, we will learn what are those four options which can be used for other kind of poisonings, right? This is a typical structure of a dimer capron, where you can see that two thiol groups are there, which is that is the reason it is called dimer. This is a typical packaging of dimer capron injection, which is available in the market. There will be other brands are also available. You can see here BAL is also written. Option B is atropine plus paradoxamine, which is commonly known as 2PAM. This is the packaging you can see in the market which is available. So you can see it is always available as a combination 1 and 2. One is atropine or atropine, and B is 2 is paradoxamine, right? Option C is activated charcoal. So charcoal has many applications in historically. Okay, mainly it is because of its adsorbent property it is used. So this is the one of the marketing available. And calcium disodium EDTA, option 4, commonly known as EDTA. Again, EDTA is a vast topic. It has many sodium EDTA, calcium EDTA, potassium EDTA, many types are there. This video will be restricted only with respect to calcium disodium EDTA. So this is a typical packaging, okay, in the form of injection. And option E is deferroxamine, okay, which is mainly used. Packaging is like that, okay, depot injection it is, and mainly it is used for iron poisoning, that we will learn in the subsequent slides. So the right option is dimercaprol BAL for mercury chloride poisoning. So the preferred treatment or antidote for mercury chloride poisoning is option A, dimercaprol. Let's understand what is mercury chloride poisoning and what are the options, right? So coming to mercury chloride structure, we have already discussed. Mercury chloride is a very poisonous form of mercury and it's a type of mercury salt. If you look at mercury now, mercury has ubiquitous applications in our day-to-day life. Okay, So one of the thing which you might come across in your thermometers also, whenever you are having as a child, particularly in the case of 90s kid, they will understand that the thermometer used to have a liquid mercury in the form of liquid was there in the this thing. So I think that was the first time you might have come across the mercury you might have seen in your daily life. But mercury chloride has various applications, as we have seen in the previous slide, for photography, for as a chemical reagent, all those things. So there are chances of exposure or overexposure might be there, because of which poisoning might be. So mercury chloride will have many types of poisoning is there. One of the form which we are discussing is mercury chloride. Okay, there are different types of mercury poisoning, as I said. Mercury dichloride. We are not discussing about this one. A highly toxic compound acts both acutely and cumulative poisoning. So there is acute poisoning is also there. Chronic poisoning. Cumulative poisoning means on a repeated exposure over a period of time. It might be up to months or years. Okay. Mercury chloride poisoning toxicity is due not only just to mercury content, okay, but also its corrosive properties, okay, which can cause serious internal damage, including ulcers to the stomach, mouth, throat, and corrosive damage to the. So once a person gets exposed to this mercury through oral route, there is a possibility that it might go through the stomach, mouth, and throat. There you will have corrosive reaction. Corrosive word you will come across with respect to, if you want to understand, the that will be sodium hydroxide, or it is sulfuric acid, or nitric acid. These are highly acidic substances, so they will cause corrosion of the skin layer, or here we are talking about stomach, mouth, and throat, to the intestines also. So this is an irreversible damage. Mercury chloride, here you can see there is a single chloride instead of monochloride, not dichloride, tends to accumulate in the kidney, causes severe corrosive damage, which can lead to acute kidney failure. So whenever you are exposed to mercury chloride, monochloride, it will start accumulate kidney, because kidney, liver, there are certain organs in our body. These are the major excretory organs through which any xenobiotic or chemical will go out of your body. So once it gets accumulated in the kidney, it might cause either corrosive damage, or it may cause acute kidney failure, because of which a person might can die if treatment is not done. So mercury, like all inorganic mercuric salts, does not cross the blood-brain barrier as readily as organic mercury. Okay, so one thing you need to understand is that, as I said, mercury available in various forms. Like inorganic is there, organic form is there. Organic form के लिए example is methyl mercury. Okay, methyl mercury, which is mainly a causative agent in the case of, if you have some history about mercury chloride, you might come across minimator disease, which has taken place in the case of Japan. Okay, uh, where what has happened is that there is a certain pharmaceutical company or some chemical based company is there in Japan, where they will deal, one of the chemical reagent is mercury. So the waste material, the industrial waste, contained high contents of mercury, and they started putting decanting that mercury into the nearby lakes and water body. So what happened is that phytoplanktons which are inside the lake, they started they started uptaking this mercury, this methyl mercury, uh, in their leaves, and these phytoplanktons were in turn consumed by small fishes, and these small fishes were again eaten by the large fishes. So local people who were staying nearby that lake, they started consuming this fish, and once they started consuming this fish, there was bioamplification, biomagnification. So the concentration of the mercury content keep on increasing in the case of food chain. See, bioamplification or biomagnification itself is again a big topic. We'll discuss about it in our future videos. So what I'm trying to say is that the local population which was near to that lake, no, when they were consuming, some of the people were even pregnant women. So these pregnant women, when they consumed the fish which is contaminated with methyl mercury, that crosses the placental barrier, and it was reaching the fetal brain, it was reaching, and brain was still not at the developed stage. So it causes neurotoxicity in the fetal unborn baby also. So this is a very big good example of what is it, two generation, three generation toxicity. It is a good example of in utero, or you can say teratogenicity also. So organic mercury I mean to say that there is a possibility that organic mercury to some extent can cross the blood brain barrier, but inorganic mercury cannot cross blood brain barrier. That is what we are discussing here, although it may known to be cause cumulative poison. At this year, It will cause cumulative poisoning. It will cause chronic poisoning over a period of time. So let's see next point. Common side effects of acute mercury chloride poisoning include burning sensation in the mouth and throat, which we have seen here also, stomach pain, abdominal discomfort, lethargy, vomiting of the blood, corrosive bronchitis, severe irritation, gastrointestinal tract, and kidney failure. So, kidney failure is common in the case of HCCL, right? And one of the thing you have to understand whenever you are dealing with any chemical poisoning, see how it is. Once the poison is entering into your body through oral route, it is causing mouth, throat, stomach. Okay, it is causing vomiting of blood. It is affecting the lungs. It is affecting the GI tract. These are all target organ. It is affecting the kidney. Kidney is also a target organ in the case of mercury poisoning, right? Let's see. Chronic exposure can lead to symptoms more common with mercury poisoning, such as insomnia, difficulty in sleep, delayed reflexes. So whatever we discussed about here, no organic mercury के बारे में. So the children which were born, which were exposed to methyl mercury, or overexposure, even adults also, they had delayed reflexes. For example, they were unable to lift even a cup of coffee. Hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Then excessive salivation, bleeding gums, fatigue, tremors also. They were constantly undergoing because neurotoxicity was there. Mercury was gone, entered the blood-brain barrier and got deposited in the brain. So it causes the tremors also. And dental problems. So dental problems ke liye you will have very other related type of metal toxicities also. Fluoride is there which causes dental fluorosis. So one question you will get in the board with respect to that also, right? So that's why you will see mercury amalgam, you will say amalgam. Okay. Yeah, you'll once you read, you'll definitely, or you can put the questions in the comment section. I will definitely answer you with respect to dental problems and mercury exposure. Acute exposure to large amounts of mercury chloride can cause death in as it is. So acute exposure. So you being a toxicologist, you might definitely know what is acute exposure. A single, so single administration within 24 hours or multiple exposure within 24 hours in the case of inhalation. So within 24 hours there is a possibility that over exposure to mercury might cause even death also due to acute kidney failure or damage to the GI tract. In other cases, at least it will take 2 weeks to die, right? So, if you're coming back to our question and option, BAL is the antidote, or penicillamine can also be used as an antidote for effective in treating poisoning by inorganic mercury compounds. So, this video we are not discussing much about methyl chloride. We are discussing about inorganic mercury, elemental form of mercury. Okay, and for that type of poisoning, you can use BAL as well as penicillamine as an antidote. Right. Let us discuss in the next slide what is BAL. Okay. Dimercaprol, right? This is a typical structure which we have already discussed, and this is the packaging available in the market. Dimercaprol, also called as British anti-leucide, right? BAL, commonly known as BAL. Medication used to treat acute poisoning by arsenic. Whenever there is immediate acute short-term poisoning of arsenic is there at that time, please go for use dimercaprol as an antidote. And also it is used for mercury, gold, and lead. So our answer is mercury. So whenever there is mercury poison, answer is dimercaprol. It may also be used for antimony, thallium, and bismuth. These three we are keeping in a separate section because these are rarely this poisoning occurs. Most of the time, the poisoning is because of even gold poisoning also not this thing, but maybe the drug of choice in the case of gold poisoning may be dimercaprol. Yeah, let's see. Given by injection into so they are saying that it is intramuscular injection administration, right? Common side effects include high blood pressure, pain at the site of injection, vomiting, as well as fever. So, pain at the site of injection. So, whenever there is intraparental route of administration, always at the site of admission, some kind of reaction might be there. So, pain at the site of injection, that will be for temporary, for maybe 1 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours might be there. And fever. So, fever is certain times is a like an indicator. If after taking for example in the case of coronavirus also you have seen once you take the vaccine you might have a slight fever expected this thing is there. That's definitely it is showing some action right in your body. It is not recommended for people with peanut allergies as it is typically formulated as suspension in milk. So what do you mean to say dimercaprol? It is made in the case of the vehicle which is used preparation of this injection is peanut oil. Peanut oil is nothing but groundnut. So if you see in the human population, there will be always intra-species variation will be there. What do you mean by species variation? Is that no two individuals are same. Certain individuals, there will be definitely some basic skeleton of a human